I think it's not just a matter of parking the reality TV problem with a quango like Ofcom and deciding that that's okay. I think the problem is every other week there's another story about how awful the reality TV culture is at the moment. There's somebody just alerted me to a court case which has begun with a person called Leah McSweeney, who was on the New York what is it now? A New York Housewives of New York, the Real Housewives stars, and apparently. She says it's an open secret that the figure's network, Andy Cohen, snorts cocaine with a coterie of his favourite Real Housewives stars, doles out special professional favours to his employees come personal party pals. But none of that comes as a great surprise to me. The papers claim the network is aware that a different senior producer routinely sends unsolicited pictures of their genitalia to lower level production employees. And the real fault is that the managers in the reality TV industry have done nothing to stop it. They know about it. They don't stop it. They think, okay, fine. There's alcohol problems, exacerbating these, developing these, simply in order to push the vulnerability of the people on camera. And it's shocking. She, McSweeney, claims that she was pressured to drink, even though the production knew that she was trying to stop. How evil is that? Brandi Glanville claimed in a legal letter that an obviously inebriated Cohen sexually harassed her by telling her that he wanted to sleep with another Bravo star. Again, it's about control, and if you've got a television program which is predicated on the appalling experiments in Stanford prison, then we shouldn't be that surprised in these sort of pseudo psychological studies. We shouldn't be surprised that the reality TV shows which stem from this. If you don't know about the links, there's a really good what's it? It's not a vlog. It's not a blog. Podcast. There's a really good podcast called Edge of Reality, which you can find, I think, through Amazon. I contributed to it. I think I top and tail the podcast. There's a bit of me at the beginning and there's a bit of me at the end. But I did talk to the producers of that podcast for a long time, and I thought they'd got it right, and I think they got it so right that it took over a year for them to get the podcast legaled and actually aired, because these reality TV production companies are very powerful. What I find so sad is that reality TV could be such a force for good. Right at the beginning of TV, or certainly the aftermath of World War II, you have so many programs set in theatres where there's real audiences, and eventually by the early 1960s, you've got Bruce Forsyth inviting people onto the stage to do little games. Well, that is a demonstration of how much ordinary people want to be involved in the television that they're watching. And reality TV is a way to ensure this happens. Real people in real situations, filmed by clever production staff, and if that clever production staff have cast well, you don't even need to engineer nasty twists and turns to make the program interesting. You just need to work hard as production staff to ensure that you edit well. But people have taken shortcuts. People are lazy. Production companies are lazy. They've got a formula, and so they cast according to that formula. Baddie, goody, old fart. I think that was me in the circle. And it's already sort of scripted before it even goes into production. They know what they want, and they wait until you say the things that they want and bully you until they get it. I was very lucky because I think the character that the producers saw on The Circle of me, they seemed to like, and they promoted it. And I think they changed their storyline as a result, which is extraordinary because I think that's unusual. And I'm really grateful for that. But the problem is the sort of hangers-on and the people who wing around production just don't know when to stop. And that level of control continues and continues and continues, and the exploitation continues and continues and continues. And I don't know very many people who've come off reality TV who are genuinely happy, or who would genuinely confess that time on reality TV was a good investment of their time. Would I do it again? No. Do I regret the show? No, I'm really proud of the show. Do I regret being a part of reality TV? 100%. And that's the difference. I think the show was wonderful. I think the show, the invention of the show, the production of the show was spectacular. But the level of control that it gave to people who wanted to exploit their position, or who didn't know how to manage the control that they'd been gifted, that was worrying. And that, imagine that in even more sinister hands. And then there's the issue of just the sheer practicality of being put in a situation where you're monitored day and night, where you're put under intense pressure. Even soldiers who are training to withstand torture and go under similar techniques are doing so for less time and with significantly more psychological and physical support. This is an industry which is on the edge of disaster. And our present government, the British government, has simply given it more control. It said, oh, well, instead of the contract stopping at the end of the show, no, the contract will continue for another 18 months. So you've still got control over them. How heinous is that? And that's because they didn't really take proper advice, because the committee that was set up to look into Love Island and Jeremy Kyle was disbanded halfway through the process and was never reformed. But it got enough. It got enough for production to get their way and get even more control of their cast members, their participants, both during the show and for 18 months after. Slaves.